It's me, Ray Rambles, and, I'm coming back to this channel just to make this little video because I've been thinking about it for a few days now, and, it's not furry related in the slightest, but I figured that someone out there might like to hear about it, be it for educational reasons, or, relatability, or just, whatever reason it interests you. But I just wanted to give you a little ramble about my life and a big aspect of my life, and that is how it is living with an irrational phobia. And there's a lot of misconception about phobias, so I wanted to give my insight as someone who has one. Again, just if you want to learn, or if you are just curious, or if you, just want someone to relate to, I figured someone out there would appreciate this message. So, really big thing to start with is what a phobia is. Now, a phobia is not just the fear of something. That's a really big misconception. A lot of people think, oh, you have arachnophobia, you're scared of spiders. Oh, you have acrophobia, you're afraid of heights. It's not just the fear of something. A phobia is an anxiety disorder, meaning it goes beyond just fear and it turns into panic, avoidance. It can even contain rituals to try and avoid whatever you have the phobia of. It's not just fear. It is a neurological, how your brain works causes you to fear this thing so much that it greatly impacts your life. And they suck, which is why, I wanted to talk about it in case if anybody out there, can relate. My phobia, I've had it since about 3rd grade, and I have been in therapy for the past 3 years or so, and I've improved a lot, because that's the thing that sucks about phobias. They are terrifying, and they take over your life, but they're very treatable. So, getting exposure therapy and, those other ways of treating them, they work, but to do it is so scary because you have to confront the phobia and basically unlearn all these things that you've been doing for years and years and years to avoid it, right? Well, my phobia is spectrophobia, which is the phobia of mirrors. And, there's a big misconception with spectrophobia that I'm afraid of my own reflection. I'm not. Whether or not you believe in this sort of thing, my spectrophobia stems from when I was in 3rd grade. I saw a ghost in my bathroom mirror. And again, whether or not you believe in ghosts, this is an irrational phobia, so it's kind of unrelated, but I basically for the next 10 or so years of my life was avoiding reflections, and especially avoiding bathroom mirrors, so that I would never see her again. And it sucks. It invades your entire life. Going to sleepovers or to a friend's house, I would have to ask them to drape blankets over the mirrors. That is humiliating as a child and as an adult, to have to explain this and say, yeah, I can't sleep with a mirror next to me. It's going to scare me. It's going to caused me this panic, So having to explain that to people is really embarrassing. And then, like, in bathrooms, which is where I struggled the most, I was so scared looking in the mirror, or even in the faucet of the sink, which was reflective, that I would be, washing my hands with my head turned back because I was so scared of looking in the reflection and seeing her again. It's like, or in school, I would have to ask my friends to go into the bathroom with me so that I wouldn't completely panic when I got in there, So it's embarrassing. It's scary. It's just this pervasive thing that makes basic life experiences horrifying. Just beyond fear, it turns, again, into panic. I remember one time I was, in my own home, and I was washing my hands in the sink, and I scared myself so bad, thinking, I'm going to see her again, that I ran out, and I ran into the door, and, I hit the doorknob, and I got this giant bruise. So it was getting to the point that it scared me so badly that I was hurting myself. And that is the reality of a phobia. It's not just fear. It's just the irrational, I need to get away. Like, this thing is going to hurt me. This thing, it's that panic so strong, you're willing to hurt yourself to get away. And again, it is horrible, which, is why recovery is so hard. And I did manage to go into recovery. And again, I'm doing way better now, Occasionally I relapse and I scare myself, or, I think I see something when I don't. But exposure therapy, going to a therapist, and then saying, okay, the next time you wash your hands, try to stare into the faucet and see that nothing's going to come up behind you. Nothing's going to be there. Just try it. Little steps like that, where first it was just looking at the faucet and being like, okay, this is scary. I don't like this. But nothing came up. And the best way that you can do that is having a professional that guides you through it and gives you steps of how you can confront your phobia in, baby steps. The example that my therapist used for me was, she showed me this video of a man who was absolutely terrified of this certain type of car, because every time he saw it, he was reminded of a friend years and years ago saying that that type of car was bad luck, and if you saw one, it meant that you were going to die or that you were going to get hurt. So whenever he saw one, he would have to basically wash himself clean to get the bad energy of the car off of him. And, some people might say, that's ridiculous, that's crazy, why would anyone do that? That's what makes phobias so insidious. They are irrational, they are disorders. So people are going to do things that are weird to comfort themselves. Which is why it's so important to have a professional talking you through it and exposing you slowly so that you, get over the fear. Sorry, I keep having to open the mouth. Ezra has pretty bad ventilation, but he's so pretty. I wanted to wear him today. But this man, I'm so proud of him. I don't even remember his name, but slowly with exposure therapy, he got to the point where not only could he look at the car without panicking, but he was able to sit in it and drive one. And that is what exposure therapy does. It slowly shows you it's going to be okay. Things are safe. So if anybody out there is struggling with a phobia, please consider getting exposure therapy. Yes, it's scary at first. I almost compare it to going into rehab, where initially you're going to feel those detox symptoms and it's going to hurt. You're going to be scared. You're going to want to quit. But once you make it out the other side and you realize what you've been missing, and you've been missing living a life without that overwhelming panic and anxiety, it is so worth it. And I think that's about all I wanted to talk about, just my personal experiences and, what a phobia actually is and how you can recover from one. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. Please let me know below. And I hope you all have a very nice day. Goodbye.